Mama's in the living room watching Judge Judy. I'm in the kitchen eating leftover sushi, and she yells, "Oh, girl, you gotta hear this one." A man was arrested for running a theme park, and when they said, "Where's your license?" he said, "My dog ate it." Oh, you can't make this shit up. Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one." Mama loves to laugh at how absurd life is, says it's all a comedy and I'm her audience. And I love the way she makes fun of the world. She said, "You'll never guess who's with their girlfriend. It was a man who didn't get us out of the bed. He said, I've been through hell and now I need some help. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up." Sometimes I wonder if life's just one big cosmic joke. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout. It's like she's on a Reddit, reading r/funny lawsuits, yelling from the couch. As she sips on a prosecco, makes fun of all the weirdos, and then I hear her shout, "Girl, you gotta hear this one."
So there is a big difference between filing documents and starting a narrative. And I was looking at the latest filings in the Hales case. I know they've been out for a few days. People have been looking at them. But when I read a certain one, I started thinking if someone was scheming. And I have been told that this person was saying things on their streams or on other people's streams. But at the same time, I don't pay attention to those. I only pay attention to the documents because, as I told someone earlier today, paying attention to what knuckleheads say on a live stream makes me have to do something that I don't want to do. And with that, it's hard enough to get me to do things that I need to do and I want to do, let alone listen to people's streams that I absolutely cannot fucking stand. So with that, we are going to look at these documents. I have a friend here today because this person has more of an idea of what's going on than I do and can calm my attitude. Spawn Trooper. How are you?
Hey, I want my mummy. My eyes were severely injured in Shizzy's stream the other night.
Oh no.
He played a song that I will never ever get that time back because I literally poked my eyes out with a blunt spoon and banged my head against the wall because when it comes to comedy, satire, and everything in between, it was the most hilarious video I have ever seen anyone create ever. It was just absolutely phenomenal, and I'm sorry to say it, but I, hands down, it was just disgusting. It could cause you.
I can't say I heard. So, it's like the people who say, "Well, didn't you listen to so and so stream from the other day?" I couldn't. I don't even have the time to listen to people that I want to listen to, or the attention span. Let alone to pay attention to people whose voices are like nails on a chalkboard to me. So that's one of the reasons you're here is because you have more of an insight to what is being said on these various things than I do.
Well, I mean, considering that YouTube is now apparently saying that everything is inauthentic or, so we need to be very careful about how we go by explaining this. But the thing is, when it comes to absolute freaking idiots, there's the only way you can explain it is directly. You can't beat around the bush. You can't fabricate. You can't speculate. You can't allege. It's fact. I mean, I know what we're going to be talking about and who we're going to be talking about, and there's there's a point where, look, we've all been following this for nearly over 2 years. Okay, and anyone, and I'm about to swear, ladies and gentlemen, so put your fingers in your ears, please, and cross your feet. Common sense is probably the most unused part of real life. We've seen people exaggerate. We have seen people make false allegations. We have seen people blow up a situation where technically it should have been just whatever.
Wait. I just have to interrupt you for just 1 second, and I do apologize. Did anyone else see Squid's YouTube rant clip? What are we talking about here? Was I clipped and didn't realize it? Or did something happen and I not know about it? Because my attention span is limited.
Like
when it comes to YouTube bullcrap.
You're like a goldfish. Am I sounding okay? Do I need to get closer to the microphone and it sound really weird?
You sound it.
What? Hey?
I don't know, because
anyway, so what was I saying before Gail interrupted us?
Common sense is not so common. You were cursing at me.
Yeah, so common sense is in all aspects non-existent. I mean, it does exist. I know that a lot of people don't like Jeremy Hales, and a lot of people like Jeremy Hales, and but the thing is, Jeremy Hales is a human being, just like Squid is, just like I am, just like everyone else. We make mistakes. We say things in a heat moment, and it happens. However, you have to see, like, there's other people out there who think they're clever about talking about patterns. The thing is, when I talk about patterns, I'm talking about patterns of behavior, actions. Okay, because every action has a reaction. One thing people have seemed to forgot is that Bruce Matskin, for example, and everyone else in the anti-what ecosystem, they all slid in after each other. Prest and that plum idiot, okay, they had every opportunity after they got cease and desist. Now, Crampon saw an opportunity. She took advantage of that opportunity, and that's how it all began. Right? A lot of people are missing facts in regards of, the grift about the monies and everything else. I have mentioned on multiple occasions, not just myself, Squid has, my pretty has, other creators have, okay, that certain things had already been collected for certain other things. But if you take from when it first started 2 years ago, whenever, this century, some point, right, and you go to today, we have actual physical threats to cause serious bodily harm because you think you sound good, because you think you're clever, because you think you know the law. However, there is a difference between satire and being sarcastic and actually making a threat to cause physical harm. Now, it is not a joke, because since the 18th century, trial by combat is illegal. There is, in the United States, there are a couple of states where you can legally, in front of the police, you can legally have mutual combat. But both parties have to agree on that. Now, when you've got people like...
I promise I'm not crying. My nose is just running because it's Georgia and...
When you've got people like that, and now what you now need to do, I don't care what your opinion is about me. If I want your opinion about me, I will give you that opinion. That's as simple as that. I am not here to blow smoke up your ass, pardon my French, bottom. I'm not here to give you stories like other people do. You blow it out of proportion. No, I'm trying to point you in a direction where you as a human being, you as an individual should make your own mind up and not make your mind up by whatever people say. You need to do your own research. This is why there's a lot of this stuff happening. This is why there's a lot of back and forth going. There is no toxicity in whatsoever. Everyone, right? Everyone's poo smells exactly the same. It's as simple as that. But when you've got people on a platform publicly, and I quote, publicly making threats to use a knife to cause physical harm, and then brag about the amount of times you want to use that knife. Okay. And
I'm so confused right now.
Oh, well, I will explain it in detail if you want to.
Please do, because I am so lost between what people are saying in chat about certain things.
Okay, right.
Between what you're saying, I am totally lost on my own damn show.
Okay, hold you. All right. Okay, a few weeks ago, probably 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Okay, just stop for 1 second. I'm just going to let the chat know. So when I tell you guys that I literally don't pay attention to what is said on other streams, this is why. And this is why I have people like My Pretty come on and Spawn Trooper come on, and people that know what the hell they're talking about, because I don't pay attention to any of this. So like random things, that's one of the reasons I pay attention to documents only, is because they are repeatable. I have access to them without having to search for things because I know where they are. They never change. And it's not like this person said this on a stream that you didn't watch 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday night. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell is going on. My brain cannot handle stupid shit. So when people start talking about it, I'm like, what, huh?
Okay, okay, let me bring you up to speed. A few weeks ago, our glorious hobbit-looking individual, Mr. Magoo, aka on the Flood, decided to jump on the Crampon stream and brag about what he was going to do about the legal system, and basically, you know, deliberately go out of his way to make the court case and everything else an absolute nightmare for everyone else. However, he was talking about he has been going on about this trial by combat. Now, I know for a fact that trial by combat does no longer exist. I mean, there are topics in the court systems where it is mentioned. However, it is illegal, irregardless of what you say. Even if you want to make it legal, it is illegal. Even if it says, yes, trial by combat is in the law, it is still illegal. Okay. Now, obviously, evolution didn't work with that guy. So, anyway. He sat on the Crampon stream, and I actually got sent the timestamp, and I went to watch it. And I'll be honest with you, delusional is the nicest thing I could actually say about this individual, considering his past and his background and the psychological evaluation that he had in 2018 in court. It makes this gentleman extremely dangerous, especially what he has said, especially what's being said. And there's been a lot of rumors going around. And I am not for rumors. I only work off factual evidence and proof. Now, when you sit on a public platform, irregardless of who you are, I don't care who you are. If you sit on a public platform, regardless of creed, background, whatever, and you make a statement that you want to take a knife and impale it into someone multiple times, and then make the statement that you would enjoy that, this is where I think the police need to get involved. This is where you like
it's one thing to think it, it's another thing to say it.
Yes. This is where Jeremy, if he actually uses his loaf, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, loaf is a terminology meaning brain. If he actually used his loaf, I would take that, I would go straight down to the next nearest police station, and I would make a police report of threats to cause physical harm because it is being made on a public platform. And he basically bragged about it. And it's not the first time he has said this. Now, obviously, he hasn't got out of the court case, which obviously we're going to come into in a bit. But yeah, I think a lot of people, there are some people out there who like to carpet bomb people with blame, which I find absolutely hilarious, to say the least. Then you've got people out there who seem to just sheep. They will follow anyone and anything. But when you actually got people who
you really want to talk about sheep.
Don't shut up.
You really want to talk about sheep.
No, shut up. Then when you've got people, just following the person in front of them. Now, look, at the end of the day, I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you love me. I don't care if you adore me. What I care about is that you use your own common sense to make to find the difference in between the facts and the lies, the exaggeration, and anything else in the middle of that. Because this has now got out of hand. This has now gone beyond normality of a court hearing, and this is one of the reasons I was backing off. I only talk about my own personal observations. But to make a threat to such a level online, on platform, on camera, with a grin on your face. You make your own mind up.
I mean, and it's one of those things, we're going to get into these documents, and there's actually a new order that was just filed today. Between the time that I checked there was a new order from the judge. But we are going to get into the first two. And the one that so when I have heard people talking or I've seen people's titles, because I only get to when I do catch somebody else's streams, it's like I'm waiting for the little to get done with eating lunch, so I pop onto someone's stream, or I'm waiting, like it's, folding laundry and I'm bored out of my mind, so I put it on in the background. I don't get to actually attend to stuff, so I hear bits and pieces. And I've heard a lot of people talk about this first motion that we're going to get to, or this first document we're going to get to.
Is that Fed 2 or is that bankruptcy?
It's Fed 2.
Right, got it. Yeah. Which was which to be perfectly honest with you, it was expected.
Well, hold on. Well, there's two different documents in Fed 2 that we are going to get to. Actually, 3 now. But I've heard people talk about the fact that Fed 2 is going on. Okay. Is continuing on, which fine, great, actually. But there is another document, and this is the one that when I read it, the other one was like, okay, I figured the judge was going to let them, file the third amended complaint. It would be dismissed to whoever it needed to be dismissed to, because it was already dismissed. But here's the one that when I looked at, I saw scheming. And my brain, because I'm petty, because I like to put little tidbits of information out, wait for people to fuck up, and then use it against them later.
Which is always happening, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not YouTube. That's like life. I will do something or say something and then wait for someone to try to use it and embarrass themselves. And it's entertainment to me, because I come from the Mr. Squid school of petty, and he will be an asshole. You've talked to him. You know how he is. You are one of the few people who has talked to him. You know that this man will go out of his way to be an asshole just for the sheer entertainment value.
Yeah, and I'm proud of him.
Not illegal, just fucking annoying.
Yep. And that's why I like him that much. Not enough
I
to.
love him dearly, but sometimes when that's directed towards you, somebody was tailgating him in his brand new truck the other day. That was 20 minutes of so much fun and a trip that should have taken us 5.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
that's something I would do. But here's one thing, right? I am going to make absolutely sure that you stay on topic tonight.
Yes, because I got places to be, like work.
Yep. So get your ass in gear. Come on, let's get down.
Well, when I looked at this, my scheming ass thought, and I will admit I am fully petty. My brain, like I said earlier, there's a difference between what you think about what you want to do to people and what you say out loud. Right. I'm a thinker.
Yeah. Okay.
So this just had me. This just had me going. He's laying a foundation for future bullshit.
Yeah, this one here, just to point out, ladies and gentlemen, I want to point out something, and like, people, please fucking listen. I know that some of you don't like us real English speakers. All right, so let's just try to keep this on the rails. Yeah. All right. Richard Luthman has not ever used the suffix junior until recently.
Until he was called out for it.
Yes, exactly. And have a guess what? Okay. If you do the research, nowhere, even on his emails, he's only recently started doing it because he has to follow through on his lie. So now, when you do see anything and it doesn't have junior in front of it, it's because he has got a brain of a goldfish. Just saying. Carry on.
Yeah, and you can tell that I am not the most popular when it comes to this topic, because these streams used to get 200 to 300 people, and now they get 60. So
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm not. I just think it's funny because when people don't hear what they want to hear, they get mad. So when both sides are mad at me, I must be doing something right.
Well, after what's happened over the last couple of weeks, I'm not surprised. It's just one of those.
And that's why my headline says "I told you so," because I hate to say I told you so, but I fucking told you so. And I've said it on every stream that this topic has been brought up.
Yep.
But like, I was called certain names. I was accused of crimes last year when I told specific people to leave me the fuck alone and never talk to me and act like I don't exist. And now, after telling other people and basically having other creators go, well, you're full of shit, or this or that, or, whatever. Now other creators are starting to be dragged into bullshit that they shouldn't be. And I'm just sitting here going, I hate to say I told you so, but I fucking told you so.
Okay. Moving on. We'll talk about that later.
However, like one of these, when I read this motion or even saw the name of this and I saw who wrote it, and it was like, this is laying the foundation for what I believe. And this is not knowing, like I said, I don't know anything that's been said. I have not actually heard this person speak. Maybe
can I just point something out before you carry on? It's just it just went ding dong on my head, in my brain. Basically what you're about, sorry, let me rephrase this.
And Heidel says, don't listen to the BS. They can focus listening to them. Focus, if you are unaware, whenever I say focus, it means fuck off because you're stupid. Yeah.
Right. Here's the thing. What we're about to go through, and what you guys in chat. Hello, by the way, everybody. Good to see you. All right. What you're about to witness and read is basically what he actually spoke about on the Crampons platform. Just saying. The guy's an absolute freaking wank stain.
But when I looked at this, the first thing I thought of was he is laying the foundation for future bullshit. And I think, this is just my opinion, I don't know if I'm right. I have no idea. He's laying the foundation to try to throw Randy under the bus in the future. AKA, he's going to file a motion for sanctions within the next few months.
How's he going to do that? I mean, on what?
I'm not... What? People how did Bruce file motions for half the shit? It didn't make any fucking sense, but he did it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Point being, just because something doesn't make any fucking sense doesn't mean they can't do it.
No, but the point I'm trying to make is on the reason I'm saying on what is because like at some point, what happened with Beliefer will happen with here. Is that the judge or the fucking magistrate will turn around and say, right, as of from now, right, you will put on docket irrelevant fucking motions.
I am not saying it's correct. I am not saying it's appropriate. I'm just saying this is a fucking playbook that you can see 10,000 miles away.
Yep.
They are going to file a motion for sanctions against Randy, or Luthman is, because this is going to be one of his, I told you, Judge, I told you. And it was this counsel's professional conduct that was like, oh, he's going to try to get Randy in trouble. I'm not saying it's going to work.
Let me ask you a question.
There's a difference. And just listen to me for a second. There is always a difference between, and this is what people have a hard time comprehending with me. There is a difference between what I think is right, or I think is appropriate, and what I think will happen. That's a completely and totally different topic. Those are two separate trains of thought. What I think is appropriate, what I think is right, is not always the same as what I think will happen. I'm calling it now. There will be a motion for sanctions within 2 months.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How did Richard Luthman get involved in all this?
I don't fucking know, because I have no idea who this motherfucker is.
Do you know who involved him?
Absolutely no idea. Except for what I've heard certain people say on their streams. Volpe. I have absolutely no idea who this is. I remember Volpe and Megan working together in the past. I do not know. I could not pick this man out of a lineup. I have no idea what he looks like. I could not tell you, I could not pick a picture out of a lineup. I have no idea.
No, it was Volpe. Volpe, basically, Deuceboy introduced Volpe, and then Volpe brought in Mr. Magoo, Elmer Fudd, and now around the same time, that's where Life Jacket Lips appeared.
I just know all these people randomly freaking appeared. And this is the part of maybe I did know, but because I have memory issues, one of the first things to go is the shit that I don't care about.
Yeah. But the thing is, I mean, your prediction in 2 months, I'm going to up you on that one. You say 2 months, I say 4 to 6 weeks. I say in the next, I mean, this is the first one. This work. I would say in the next 3 to 4 motions. That's my prediction. So you've got 2 months. I've got 4 to 6 weeks. Oof, I love it when you talked at. Wait, what? What was that?
I love it. Boundary. When I said I don't fucking care and I don't fucking know. Dropping that ball.
I'm gonna lock Marlon in the basement.
People tell me I curse like a sailor. I did this before I joined the Navy. I remember cursing for the first time in 2nd grade.
Yes, he is.
Never looking back.
Yeah, and by the way, privately, she swears even more than I do.
It's just, I hear you there with the memory issues. It's I had brain surgery, y'all. The first thing to go is the shit that literally I don't care about, which is someone telling me an obscure detail. Like I said, I collect screenshots and I put them in my Bless Your Heart file. Other than that, if it's not in a screenshot, and there are certain things that I do remember, like people talking about my child. I remember that specific thing because it's important to me, because my child is important to me, kind of a situation. So that is what makes that very memorable. But some obscure person telling me in a chat or in a DM somewhere 6 months ago, hey, this person said this. I'm I don't remember.
Do you want to hear something really scary before we carry on with the document?
Oh no.
Oh, yes. Do you know that swearing shows intelligence?
Well, I must be a damn genius then.
Fucking Einstein was my stepdad. Anyway,
That explains a lot.
oh, don't
AKA
start
he's
on me.
old.
Oh,
And Rachel Sarah, thanks for coming to new YouTube member. I know you said I saw that you said you were a member before. You just had to take a break. Well, welcome back.
yeah.
And T3, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Keep being you, girl. Ignore all the outside noise. I just laugh at it because it's like I care about it in the sense that I care enough to laugh. I care enough to get some entertainment value out of it. And I like hearing about certain things because it makes me laugh. But like actually caring about it, how it affects my day-to-day life, with the exception of people accusing me of a crime and it costing me money, subscribers, ad revenue, possible super chats, aka money, which is one of the things that Jeremy Hales is suing for. So if you're going to ever call someone a criminal on YouTube,
make sure you got
YouTube,
facts.
yeah, make sure you have facts with that shit, because like that is one of those things that's like that's not the only thing Jeremy is suing for. But remember,
Do you know what I like?
Porsche's interference with business relationships is one of the major things that Jeremy is suing for.
Do you know what?
In which case, be careful who you talk about on YouTube and what you say.
Do you know what I like the most? Do you know what I have? Right, just before we do get back into this document, all right? Because right, I have spoken to multiple people over the last month or so, and I've had very in-depth conversations in regards of this whole thing, you know. And one thing I have to say is that a lot of the people I have spoken to don't really care about the negativity. What they do care about is that when they do put their side across, is that people should always be unbiased in what, you know, if you don't agree with something, that is absolutely fine, because everyone has a right to disagree. However, when you put a narrative across where you cannot agree or disagree, where you are stuck in limbo, and that's where the problems start. Now with you, right, you have a very good way of putting your wording across when it comes to documents, and obviously, you know, what's education through motion, not education through motion,
Evidence through motion.
Evidence through motion. There you go. Right, on both of your channels, you've been very, very positive, constructive in what you say and what you do. And a lot of people don't like that because either they're not able to do that or they don't understand how to do it. Me, whereas I am more of a fact finder and I only go off factual proof. And I will say, if I witness something or I watch something, I will give my personal opinion. This is where people go wrong. They think, oh, he's calling this, he's calling that, he's calling this. What they don't realize is that I've just seen a UFO. I'm going to tell you, I've just seen a UFO. I just seen a space shuttle, you know, I've just seen a rocket go in space. It actually happened. You know.
All right, let's get to this motion. I'm going to get
to. Yeah, I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to do that.
And then T3, thanks for the 5 Squid Pro Quo memberships. And this stream is in place of what we usually do is a members only Monday. We are doing Timu Law School, aka Lawyer Prep Academy, where we are taking some of Lawyer Prep. It's the Timu Law School. It's the law school for where the I can't remember exactly what I wrote on the thumbnail, but it's where the documents don't matter or facts don't matter, and reading the documents it's optional. So.
I don't know what it is, but every time I close my eyes, all I see is a fucking picture of John Cook in cartoon wiggling his ass from Shizzy last night. I'm so sorry. I just can't get that out of my fucking head.
I streamed last night. So I did not. I stream on Evidence Through Motion on Sunday nights. So I do not watch anybody else because usually right after that, I go to bed.
Ooh,
so, and Jen keeps it real. Thanks for being a member for 8 months. Love you too. Appreciate it.
Can I be a Timu judge? I don't want to be a lawyer. I think I've already surpassed that. I think I should be a judge. Guilty.
One of the members, he has no idea what you're talking about. Possibly true. All right.
That's actually a good point.
Defendant Richard Luthman Jr.
Junior.
Hearing pro se, and especially as appropriate. Nothing appropriate about you from what I've seen. Hereby files and serves this attached April 15th email correspondence sent by Luthman to plaintiff's counsel, Randall Shockett, concerning plaintiff's asserted conferral effort under 7.1b and related issue of professional conduct. The attached correspondence is filed as Exhibit A and speaks for itself. Okay.
No, Dr. Must, I want to be Judge Spawn, like Judge Dredd.
If title says if Spawn Trooper becomes the Timu judge, we're all in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay.
The correspondence is relevant because it placed plaintiff's counsel on express notice that April 14th email from Shockett Law Group did not satisfy the meaningful conference requirement of Local Rule 7.1b.
Oh, he showed this on their platform that night. Now I remember. Carry on.
Local Rule 7.1b provides in pertinent part before filing a motion and raising an issue, an attorney for the moving party must attempt in good faith, and this is one of the things that they're going to try to attack, is that in good faith, to resolve the issue through a meaningful conference with an attorney for the adverse party. Dude, you're not an attorney. So how can they and this is where my brain goes, like, I know you're pro se and I know you have a law degree, but you're not a fucking attorney.
Hasn't been for a long time.
Well, here's the thing with that. Before he puts in here a quote from 7.1b. The moving party must attempt in good faith to resolve an issue through a meaningful conference with an attorney for the adverse party. You don't have an attorney. So your argument is moot.
I think like now that I remember this, I actually afterwards, I have had multiple conversations with multiple people. One of them is actually a real fucking lawyer. And I said to him, is that, he went, he's just digging himself a hole. Legally, he's digging himself a hole because he can't, and like, he saw this document because I sent him the link to the street, and he said just in the first page he's already contradicted himself. If you're going to put like the name that you've suddenly come up with your suffix, then you're going to put a name with no initial, and then you're going to put your surname. It's like, hello, make your mind up. What do you want to know? What is your name?
It's just one of those things of like, and this is where legal technicalities might come in because of this situation of how does this rule apply, and what is the precedent of this rule applying to a meaningful conference when someone is a pro se. And I think that's he's trying to play attorney when he's not licensed.
We know someone else who did that, don't we?
Well, but he's trying to use the fact that he has a law degree as like he's special. I'm sorry, but being a lawyer doesn't even make you fucking special.
Oh, no,
it makes
he's
you
special.
Think you're special.
Oh, he's
but
special,
it doesn't make you special.
He's special, all right.
Well, special needs is different.
Short bus, yeah. Yeah, I know. But here's the thing.
And don't insult special needs people by equating Luthman with them.
Good point, well presented. But here's the thing: what I can't get with this, he is trying to call out Randall Shockett and the motions that Randall Shockett put in. What he's doing here is one thing I've noticed is that it's like reading shit from Deuce Matskin. It's like it's like I mean, this is my perspective. This is my point of view. It's like reading stuff from Bruce Matskin.
Yeah, I mean, it's not any better. It's just one of those situations of I would have to look at some sort of precedent on how the Northern District of Florida handles 7.1b with pro se defendants. And because this has never been an issue in the last year and a half of pro se defendants, I'm thinking that this is an email to a pro se defendant is all right. Like, I don't like everything Randy does, and I think some of his filings are lackluster, but he's also not a fucking idiot.
No, it's not. And don't forget, it's not just him. Everyone thinks it's just Randy Shockett. It's not. He has a group of people in that legal team that are writing all this up. Whereas this here, right? I mean, there is a conspiracy because the thing is, Luthman has stated that he is going to deliberately try to derail and this there's a word for it. He's good. Oh God, there's a word for it. I can't remember the word. But he's already stated that he's going to deliberately try to drag this out and for years and years and years, and and this is the start of it. Because this is why I recognize this, because he showed it on the Crampon stream. This Rule 7.1, and here's another thing that I want to point out. I'm seeing this Rule 7.1b and other rules quite a lot, and it's like either their court system is absolutely FUCK'd, or
there's a 7.1b certificate at the end of every document. That's why you've probably seen it before. Is because if you look at just a random
I get you. I think I've got you.
Random document, it'll have a 7.1b, like, hey, I conferred with the other party prior to filing this. It's more specific than that, but that's just my non-lawyer sum it up in a quick.
Because I'm getting so confused with all this freaking. That's probably what they want, to cause confusion.
Yeah.
But he's an idiot anyway,
Well, and here's the other part that's like, dude, you're not an attorney. And this is where I would have to look at precedent from the Northern District of Florida when they're doing a 7.1b conference with a pro se defendant. Because he goes on to say, 7.1b also provides that when a conferral is conducted in writing or electronically, an attorney ordinarily should be afforded at least 24 hours as calculated under FRCP 6 to respond to a communication. You are not a lawyer. You can't play lawyer and then claim you have no legal education. Because in other motions, he said, I'm a journalist, not a lawyer.
Do you know what? You got a bloody good point there. He's already he's messed up in the first part. Now he's messed up in this bit.
So the other motion about, or the other documents about Fed 2 being dismissed with prejudice, which was something that caught my eye, but that's beside the point. But this was the one that made me like the wheels started turning, and I'm like, you're scheming for one, and two, you're a fucking idiot. Because you can't act like an attorney. And this is where I'd have to look at the Northern District rules, and I could be wrong, because they could treat a pro se defendant like an attorney when it comes to this rule. I don't actually know, because I'm not a lawyer, and I'm definitely not a lawyer in Florida. So this would be a lawyer question. But it's just one of those situations of Randy is not stupid. Like, I don't like some of the things that he's filed. I don't like some of the way things are phrased or some of the actions. But just in general, the man's not stupid. And procedural shit, with the exception of a few deadlines here and there, procedural shit he has down.
Roy's got good argument there. I can see where he's coming from with that one.
Yes, and that's where I would have to look at past precedent of, like, case law of the Northern District dealing with pro se defendants. However, this has never been an issue with any pro se defendant that Jeremy has gone up against in Fed 2, Fed 1, whatever, until now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another thing that was like, here's things that as a judge, I would question. This is just where my brain goes instantly, and the questions that come to my mind in the forefront.
Mike, I got a question.
Has has Randy communicated with Luthman this same way every time? And all the pro se defendants this way every time? It has never been a problem before, so why is it a problem now?
Because he's playing a game.
Then that's why I started. That's
He's
why my
playing a
brain
game, and
started going.
he's even admitted it. I mean, there is actual video footage and audio and visual footage of him admitted he is playing a game.
Well, that the courts don't give a shit about that. We've established that the court doesn't give a shit about what happens on YouTube, which is one of the reasons that
the statement to the fact squid. That
I get it, but until that statement's in a legal document, the court don't give a shit.
Good point. Well presented. Carry on.
So that's one of the reasons that when I saw this in a document and I saw this was scheming in a document, I really don't care what was said on a YouTube live stream. Because at the end of the day, YouTube live streams don't hold any weight in court unless the judge says it does. So
can it be used as evidence though, like an exhibit?
Maybe, but that will be something that we have to see in the future, not something that we know of right now, because it's just if Randy puts that in a document and says, look at what he said he was going to do. He's following his playbook. Of exactly what he said he was going to do, which means it's premeditated and has nothing to do with me or any of the motions I file. It's him just being a disruptor. So yeah, I feel like if I were a lawyer, or I would be trying to plead my case, that's one of the things that I'd put in there, is I would put a link with timestamps and quotes to that stream, and I would be like, see, this is his playbook. He said he was going to do it on so-and-so date. And now maybe you might not be able to see all the pieces now, but here's puzzle piece number 1. When he files another motion, here's puzzle piece number 2.
Yeah. And even if they get rid of it or they try to hide that, people out there, there's people out there, they've got every single live stream they've done, regardless.
Okay. So Jeffrey said, according to ChatGPT, 7.1b still applies to litigants who are pro se, but judges may be lenient for their not following it. Which in that case, then that would be the judge and not Randy, because if the judge has said this is okay to do that this way because they're pro se and they don't have electronic filing or whatever, and then all of a sudden now it's a problem. He's just trying to throw,
Yeah. Very interesting topic we've got tonight. Very interesting.
And it's just one of the things where I never heard anybody else's opinion on it. Because not to say what everybody else is talking about in their 2 to 3 hour live streams when I only caught 5 minutes. But when I did catch that, even titles and thumbnails were fed to continues. Like even I didn't get to catch his stream today because he streams right when I'm about to go to the gym. But Coop, Mr. Coop, he had on his, I think it was his thumbnail that I saw. Because I went in there and I hit the like button before the stream started, but it was still like 50 minutes away. But it was talking about fed to continuing. Like I said, don't actually know what was talked about in the stream. I wasn't able to watch it, but I've seen multiple people talk about fed to continuing from thumbnail and title perspective. I've really never seen anybody talk about this. And this was what made my spidey senses as a petty bitch, as a petty princess. This is what made my spidey senses go, he's scheming, because it takes one to know one. Just saying.
Yeah.
And although I don't like to get my hands dirty, I just like to observe and laugh.
Oh, I will. I mean, if I have to,
but I don't.
No. Let me finish that sentence. I will get my hands dirty to prove 100% factual that individual or what's being said is a lie. That's when I'll get my hands dirty, because at the end of the day, that's all I care about are the facts, the evidence, and the proof. And
True.
And from everything that I've seen with all the motions that have been put in, it's like a fucking catch-22 repetitive circle. It's always the same. They're always trying to drag it out, play the game, And what they don't realize is that either they don't think before they post, or they don't think before they actually write this stuff out, or both. I mean, let's put it this way. I mean, like, if certain people had brains made of dynamite, they'd be too dangerous to open their eyes, let alone wake up and use a light switch. But this here,
here's my thing. I don't like to get my hands dirty with this, because these people are doing a good enough job of making themselves look like morons in the first place on both sides. Like I was done fighting battles and getting my hands dirty with what I was doing a year and a half ago. February of 2025. So February of 2025 was when I was like, y'all ain't worth the time, effort it takes to even like write this shit on a piece of paper. But they're doing a good on both sides. They're doing a good enough job of making themselves look like assholes. I don't have to do it for them.
This is why
what I mean by I don't want to get my hands dirty, because
this is why it's
going to make you look stupid. You're doing it by yourself.
This is why it's gone from what I believe. Right at the beginning, I thought this was a normal sort of court lawsuit / hearing court thing, and it's just turned into an absolute shitfest. And this is one of the reasons why I started stepping back from it, because, to be honest with you, it's repetitive, and at the same time, it tells me that the legal system is broken severely. And
when you have that many people in one lawsuit, and this is the fault. This is where I feel like Jeremy was maybe not at fault, but like it was a really bad play on his part. When you put that many people who are all dragging things out, and when they're individually, it's really hard for them to drag things out when they're individuals, because you can only file so many motions to dismiss, but as an individual. But when you have 10 people, one person can do it, the judge rules on that, then the next person can do it, then when the judge rules on that, then the next person can do it, and it's like this cascade. Whereas when it's one-on-one, it's very hard for the person to stall as much as they are.
I don't think, to respond to that, like these lawsuits against multiple people. Yes, obviously we've seen the judgment, but one thing that's in the back of my head, that's like, I mean, I've got multiple arguments going on right now. Okay, one thing I can say is that I don't think it's over for these individuals. I think this is just a respite.
Yeah, well, it was, and that's another thing. As a lawyer, I'm not 100% sure, because we'll get into the actual dismissal in a second.
Yeah.
And that I do understand that, but I feel like there was just strategically better ways to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like 10 people was too many. You could have brought the other ones in as witnesses, and like, I just feel like there was better strategic ways to go about it than making them all defendants and making it one giant circus.
I mean, if you look at the difference between the Ohio court case, the permanent restraining order case, and you look at the cases that are going on, you see, like, just by putting them on the witness stand, right, they threw themselves under the bus. Whereas here, you've got all these people, you've got 11 people throwing all these motions in and trying to play hide and seek with processors and God knows what else. Of course, it's like day and night, you know. But anyway, let's carry on.
So he goes into 24 hours. They attached correspondence, expressly objected to that counsel's email was not a conference, but a notice of intent to file, and requested an actual meaningful conference consistent with the rule. Correspondence is further relevant to any certification of conferral submitted or to be submitted under 7.1c, which requires that a motion include a certificate under a separate heading. That's what you've seen, the 7.1c conferral at the end of every motion.
Go ahead.
Confirming compliance with 7.1b, setting out the results. What? No, down. Okay. No down. Okay. Like, I just no down. Okay. My opinion was the Fed 2 crowd was more of an emotional reaction from Jeremy. Honestly, I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, you got a
This is
point.
just an outside of someone who's never watched his content before he was on Megan's stream. Before he was on Megan's stream in 2024, I think. I had never seen his. I didn't know who he was. So this is just an outsider's perspective. And then I think it got completely out of control because people were making money for it and are making money from it, both sides. And I can't say I'm not included in that because I make content to feed my family and this is part of my content. So there's that. So you can consider me guilty in that one too. The correspondence is also relevant to counsel's obligations of professionalism and fair dealing in litigation. The rules, this right here is called I went to law school and I'm trying to sound smarter than I really am. Yeah. And I'm not, and that's not limited. And unfortunately, that's not limited to this douchebag. This is a lawyer thing. That is how you can tell he went to law school because he uses bigger words and longer sentences than are necessary.
Again, playing the victim here in that paragraph, but I'll let you read it.
Darvo all over again.
Yep.
You cause the problem and then you play the victim.
Yeah.
It's just a weird, yeah.
Yeah.
The rules regulating the Florida bar provide that in representing a client, a lawyer may not use means that have no substantial purpose other to embarrass, delay, or burden a third person. Oh, like revenge porn?
Or putting a mustache on a screenshot to represent someone from 1940s who unalived over multiple million people because of their ethnicity. Yeah.
They further provide that a lawyer should not engage in conduct in connection with the practice of law that is prejudicial to the administration of justice, including to knowingly or through callous indifference disparage, humiliate, discriminate against litigants, jurors, witnesses, court personnel, or other lawyers on any basis. Like, I don't know, calling the other litigant an alligator. I mean, that seems pretty. But this is where he can also go, well, I'm not a lawyer. There's the catch-22 right there.
And also, what's he on about jurors? I mean, there's been witness intimidation from that side.
Trying to make his whole sound more intelligent than your whole. It's about right.
Yeah.
It's my problem with lawyers in general. And people will know that one of the reasons that I love reading documents is I love pointing out the bullshit with lawyers and just court cases in general, that lawyers are not as smart as the general public thinks they are. And they are not as smart as they think they are. The three professions that I've really had to deal with a lot in my life are fighter pilots and doctors. Lawyers don't intimidate me for shit. Sorry. Lawyers, especially ones that don't have a law license anymore, don't intimidate me. I don't intimidate easily when as a 19-year-old, my main profession that I was dealing with were fighter pilots. And then you graduate from college, you start working at a hospital, your main people that you are dealing with are doctors and the ego that they have.
Something's just dawned on me.
Lawyers don't bother me.
Something's just dawned on me.
What? Jail butthole down.
I personally think I personally think
Jesus after that comment.
Yeah, I personally think that what he's trying to do, he's trying to give the impression that he is a present lawyer.
And he already said in another motion that he wasn't. He said in another motion, remember that? I'm special appearance, that I'm a journalist, not a lawyer. I have no legal education, which he lied.
Yeah.
Because just because you are a practicing lawyer and you were a disbarred lawyer does not mean that you don't have a legal education, because you still have a college degree.
Yeah.
Whether
And you've
you
also
have a
got
bar license or not, you still have a college degree.
yeah,
in
and
the
he's
law.
also got a law degree as well if he's done law, because you have to have a law degree to become a lawyer.
Squid didn't want to piss off Maverick and Goose. No, my favorite thing was telling a pilot they were stupid. I was 20 years old and I told the pilot that he was a fucking idiot. Wasn't even old enough to drink yet. Still old enough to call a pilot stupid.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
He wrote a math. He wrote a math that said does not work in the OFF position. I about lost my shit because I'm like, no motherfucking shit. It doesn't work when it's off. Works as advertised. Like, are you this stupid? Or you know, you can fly a plane, but you're motherfucking stupid. This is why I don't fly, because these are the people who are flying your planes.
Well, apparently they want to turn it into AI now. That's another fucking rabbit hole that I don't want to jump in.
Or to quote the wise words of Yamaha: letters, numbers.
Yeah. Oh, is that a Harley? Oh, that's a nice color. Nice. Look at that bike. That is noise.
Mm.
But I mean, here's this is what gets me with all this, right? When you yes, you are a disbarred lawyer. You have a legal background. But my question is this: if you do end up in court and they see that you are no longer a lawyer and that you are just full of crap, and that good luck. And this trial by combat, you need to be very careful, because if you continue to go on thinking that you're a gangster and you think you're a bad boy, right? This trial by combat, they could actually look at you and go, I think there is a little bit, the picnic is missing a couple of sandwiches.
Same thing. Exactly. The Last Humanoid. Hubby used to say it takes a college education to break a jet and a high school education to fix it. We used to say in this house it takes a college education to fly it, but a
school education,
a high school education to fix it. Yeah, it's a perfect statement. Yep, it's said by maintainers everywhere. All right. So, without waiving any jurisdictional, service, procedural, or merit-based objections, Luthman files notice that the court can complete the written record concerning the purported conferral. Luthman's timely objections to his deficiency and the professional conduct issues raised in that correspondence. Sweet baby dumpster Jesus. All right.
Yeah, that's the freaking thing he showed as well. Oh God, I swear, God, I hate this guy.
Mr. Shockett. See if I can grasp my pearls and where's my drink when I need it?
You know when I first met all you Americanese, and I said it's either in the water or you're eating it. I personally thinking it's either injected, smoked, or inhaled. You can't be that. There's no way. I know the pandemic caused a de-evolution of people's mentality, but there is no way on this planet that people can be so dumb. It can't be, Squid.
It's an accountability thing. These are the people who have never had any accountability in their life. These are the people who threw a temper tantrum when their brothers and sisters got birthday gifts and they didn't get one to open, even though it wasn't their birthday. This is what entitled, spoiled, rotten children who never had any consequences or nobody say no to them. This is what they grow up to be like.
What, like in running around in kids' fancy dresses, going like, "Oh, look at me! I'm a knight. I'm a Roman fucking legionnaire."
This is what happens when no one ever tells you no. When people just appease you to shut you up. This is what kind of adults they turn out to be. This is what happens when you can tell that you've never been spanked as a child. And not that I agree with, certain things, but when you knew that there were consequences to frickin' actions, you didn't act like this.
I mean, ever since I've been following this, I'll be very honest with you and with the audience and everyone else. Right? I have probably learned more about how not to conduct yourself in a legal aspect. I've learned a bit about the law. I've learned a little bit about a couple of things that happen over in the States. I'm not saying that I know everything. I don't. But I tell you one thing, what I have seen concerns me. It concerns me because the thing is, one thing people haven't not brought up, you and I have discussed this privately. Excuse me, you and I have discussed this on multiple occasions privately, and so have other people, is what happens if someone is having a bad day and they decide to follow through.
Sunday night is the way up.
Excuse me?
Saturday night. Never mind.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's like we all know who caused the problem. We all know who is lying. We all know that, like, you know, some people like to blow it out of proportion, which happens a lot. But somewhere down the line, the legal system, the authorities need to draw a fucking line in the sand. Because this,
yeah, well, we also have an epidemic of people not being held accountable for breaking the law, whether that be petty, like criminal or civil. We have judges that don't want to enforce shit. We have DAs who don't want to enforce shit. Like it's not just Levy County is a shining example right now.
Perfect example.
But it is not limited to Levy County. And as much as people want to call it the good old boys club, it kind of is in a way. But it's the good old boys club combined with the fact that we have a society that doesn't hold people accountable for shit. Everybody makes excuses for everybody else's bad behavior instead of actually doing something about it. So, getting back into this, T3 said spoiled and entitled ignorance. Roy was like, this is what participation trophies led to. Honestly, like, I mean, in a way, yes, because these are, even though I get the idea of participation trophies, I get it in a way. What it led to was people thinking that they always deserved something when they didn't earn it. And that's where yes, you should get something. Hey, congratulations, you participated. You did something that not a lot of other people would do. Compared to you aren't going to get a prize because you didn't win it. You're not going to get a birthday gift because it's not your birthday. You're not going to, you're not going to get 5,000 subscribers because you didn't put in the work to put out the content. Like people expect, like, you're not going to get a $50 super chat when you didn't work and make good content enough for, you're not entitled to that shit. So like when like people bitch about super chats, you're not entitled to other people's money. It's like you're not entitled to a damn thing in this world except for the right to go out and work for it without being discriminated against.
Yeah.
Like you are not. Levy County is a shining example in this specific case, but there are thousands of counties all over the country, cities from small towns to big cities that are all guilty of this same freaking thing.
Hang on a minute. Shell, are you putting 2 electric probes in the grounds to electrocute yourself in that picture, or did you just find gold?
And hey, Shell Bell, how are you?
Just asking. Sorry.
Sorry. I pointed out your comment without actually saying hi to you. Kind of,
Just
all right.
Yeah.
We're going to read this email. We're going to read this email real quick because we've already been at this over an hour and we still haven't made it through this one damn document.
Yeah, is that the response from Randy Shockett, is it, I believe?
No, this is to Randy Shockett.
Oh, right, okay.
So, Clutch My Pearls. This is where I wish I had a voice mod to be as whiny as fucking possible. All right. Your April 14th email does not satisfy the meaningful conference requirement of Local Rule 7.1. Oh, I sound like Bruce. 7.1b of the Northern District of Florida. The rule is explicit, like the content that he puts out. And that's another topic. Then email
as well in a minute.
Or other writing sent at or near the time of filing the motion is not a meaningful conference. Your message sent contemporaneously with your stated intent to file a motion and demanding a response within 24 hours. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. Holy. So he said in his motion, we're gonna go up. So remember, this is page 4. Okay. Remember this part right here. Filing a motion and demanding a response within 24 hours. Remember that. Didn't he say up here? In writing, an attorney ordinarily should be afforded at least 24 hours as calculated under Federal Rule 6. You contradicted yourself. Because you said Local Rule 7.1b, an attorney ordinarily should be afforded at least 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And down here, in the actual email, demanding a response within 24 hours.
That's all I've got to say to that. That's all I've got to say to that. I don't think I should comment. Actual fact, I'm pleading the fifth. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to sit here.
I mean, at least 24 hours. So you should have 24 hours. The only thing that makes this like questionable is just I would have to see the exact phrasing, because he said demanding a response within 24 hours. So you could 24 hours. That 24 hours is within 24 hours or at least 24 hours are the only two like contradiction in terms that could be questionable. But in general, he said demanding a response within 24 hours. So file it at the 24 or send them a response at 24 hours.
This is why I always say they don't either check their work, they don't pay attention to it, or they don't think. Because if he had actually used an ounce of intelligence, he would have realized that he got that fucking 24 hours.
Heidel said that when has there not been a contradiction though? That's true. But it's one thing to do it from document to document, where like when you don't have the documents in front of you, it can be kind of like, did he really say that? I'll have to bring up the other document. I feel like something else was said. And, you kind of can contradict yourself when people contradict themselves from one stream to another, where they say one thing and then they say completely the opposite on a different stream, but both they claim both to be true. Doesn't make any sense. But when you do it in the same document is when I'm like,
yeah,
how the freak?
Here's the thing. Now, and I'm going to say this quite happily. I have come across people in your community, my community, Shizzies, and experts and all that, who are definitely up in the numbers in the 60s and 70s, and they are sharper than this fucking tool.
Those are the people that need that channel right there. That channel right above me with the QR code. That's for my other channel. The people in their 60s and 70s need that channel.
Yeah, go there. Seriously, you won't regret it. Trust me.
Not to self-promote, but it's there for a reason.
Like, no, I'll do it for you. Go there. Channel. Go there. Go to that chat. Seriously, guys, if I tell you one thing, you'll be very surprised of how much help you can get from that channel. So hit that QR code, or if one of the admins would be so kind to put the link out, put the link in, there you go, and go and check it out. Yeah. So anyway, moving on. See,
I'm trying to get that channel monetized.
You see what I do for you? And all I get is abuse. Don't you fucking pull those little... Well, I don't know what you're on about.
Timothy told us last night that he lost 22 pounds.
Nice. So he went for a dump.
Yeah. How about you eat your pears first?
No, I don't like it.
You didn't hear that, did you?
Our new phrase is, no, I don't like it. No, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it. That's our new phrase. How about you go eat your chicken and your pears first?
Just answer Marlin. Marlin, I am tomorrow. I am going to be working on the bike. I am going to film it, so you might be seeing some video coming up. You may have some video coming up soon, but who knows? I may, because I need to redact quite a lot. You see, I swear to God, Right, put that comment back up with Pip. What's her name again?
Shabo?
Yeah, put that picture up.
It's up.
Right, you see, right, okay. You see that, like, it's like she's got these 2 electric probes, and she's going to go, "Come on, you motherfucking worms! I've got you! I've got you! I've got." Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, let's
Anyway.
carry on, please. Let's carry on, please, before I lose it.
That falls squarely within the rule, especially rejects. It's not a conference. It's a notice of intent to file. Well, courts within this district routinely reject such perfunctory efforts. All this case law requiring good faith, substantial conferral, not perfunctory contact. Using big words and he doesn't have to. Your own filing underscores the problem. You certify conferral by email, yet no actual discussion, negotiation, or issue resolution effort occurred, which is precisely what Rule 7.1b prohibits.
Right.
I would see him having a point if his ability to act like an adult with other adults in a professional manner was worth a damn.
Yeah, and just for the record, for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, Ewoks, Wookiees, members of the jury, Your Honor, perfunctory describes. That's so true. An action, basically, perfunctory describes as actions done quickly, carelessly, or merrily as a routine duty, lacking interest, care, or enthusiasm. It implies the superficial or mechanical effort often done just to get it over with. So what's your motion then? What's everything that you've written and put in? One could say the same thing, couldn't one? Yes, one could. Oh, I'm sounding very posh now. Hello, chaps. Shield bell getting the curls. Hey, I tell you one thing, if you actually like up the charge, you probably might get like, really, really good curls there.
All right.
Yeah. Can I read something out? Can I read something?
Yes. Please.
Thank you. Wait a minute. Your own filing underscores the problem.
We already read that.
God dang it.
Right here.
All right. Mr. Magoo seeks to comply with the rule in good faith and to actually resolve or narrow issues before motions practice. To that end, I am available for a meaningful in-person conference, which the rule expressly encourages. Given the history of mischaracterization communication, a clear and reliable record is required. An in-person meeting at a mutual agreed neutral location is appropriate to ensure transparency and avoid other further disputes over what was said. At the conference, the agenda will include blah, blah. Now, here is one thing I am going to tell you right now. If this does happen, that they have a meeting, if Jeremy Hales would ever listen to any type of advice, and this goes for Randy Sockett as well, I would absolutely make sure that you have armed police present at all times. Because one thing I do not do is trust this man. Because he wants to get his name into the headlines. And I'll tell you one thing now, after everything I have witnessed over the last 1.5, 2 years, I'm telling you right now, these people want to be in the headlines. So, yeah.
People like this are like why I like my Second Amendment.
Yes, and you know what? When it comes to Second Amendment, I would have my finger over a blinking red light called Nuke 1. When it comes to that guy, I would definitely have armed security.
It's why this is still sitting on my desk.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. Don't get demonetized. That is nice. Oh, yes. Nepal, 338.
I used it I was comparing.
That's a 338.
In a different screen, huh?
That's a 338.
Yeah, a 338 and a 300 blackout. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. And then this is what we were kind of comparing the size of a certain bullet that was, or certain fragments that were taken out of somebody's body. Stop muting me. Stop muting me.
Angel. Blah 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 blah.
So we
Oh, she's ignoring me tonight. I
Yeah.
hell.
she's tired.
Oh. Well.
All right.
So basically, what he I mean, like, yeah, this is the part where I could not stop laughing.
At the conference, the agenda will include lack of personal jurisdiction, defective service, subject matter jurisdiction. Okay, Brooks. Okay, Daryl. Scope and viability of proposed amendment.
No, wait. Listen. Look at the three different levels. Look at them. And here's one thing I'm going to tell you right now. He is trying to dictate what the topics are going to be. That doesn't work. That's not mediation. I'm sorry, sweetheart, but that's not mediation, darling. Hey, Mr. Magoo, Elmer Fudd, listen, sweetheart. Okay, when you go into mediation, right, the person who puts the questions up is the person who is mediating, not you nonce. Right? So,
and this is supposed to be a conference between two adults. You just shouldn't need a mediator. Hey, do you have a problem with me, filing this motion?
mm-hmm.
And if you do, that's the thing. A conference is like, it doesn't have, it's one of those things of like, Lutheran seems to be under the impression that like a 7.1b conference is he has to agree to whatever is going to be filed. It's like, that's not the way the fucking shit works, and you know it.
Right. Here's the thing. The lack of personal jurisdiction, defective service. Right. They tried to serve him multiple times, and then he was playing like, take care, sweetheart. He was hiding from it, and then he came out with a suffix on behind his name, and then he used his father as an excuse. The second part, subject matter jurisdiction issues, threshold jurisdiction objections, including enforceable or prior dispute resolution agreement. There weren't any. You were basically being sued for your your satiric, or what you call satiric footage, pictures and shit. So no, can you go back to the third one, please?
It's
right.
Scope and viability
of proposed amendment, including whether the proposed third amendment complaint is futile as a matter of law. Well, it is. When it comes to you, it is. You injected yourself.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Oh, I'm on the roll.
We're gonna get to that because that was something that was filed today. So this is the clerk's judgment of this is super quick. Claims against.
Can I read it?
Well, we're not going to read this out fully because it's one paragraph, but the thing that should be interesting here is dismissed with prejudice. Remember how Belitho said with prejudice, and then remember how Hinkle came back behind him and said without prejudice? And then all of a sudden it gets dismissed and it's with prejudice again. Interesting, huh? It's just one of those things where, like, when you look at it, it's like, yeah, Fed 2 is going to continue with Preston and Luthman. However, I just think it's interesting that it went back to dismissed with prejudice.
Maybe because, there's two different variations. One, they probably don't want to see this shit in court. Not that any evidence or anything with evidence or proof was ever seen in court, which this is why the anti-what the Hales have been doing what they're doing. They're trying to avoid that. But the thing is, there's one problem that they, the way I see it in the future, Jeremy Hales, sued these guys, right? Let's just hear me out on this one. Jeremy Hales took these guys to court. We've still got George, Deanna, Travis, and every single other person they have made false accusations against, just as hypothetically, just speculation. Okay, so you've got a possibility of incoming lawsuits from other individuals who they unlawfully and wrongly accused. And all the evidence is already there.
True. It was just one of those things where words matter. And when I saw it, it was another one of those things. It just made the.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, you know as well as I do, we spoke about this. We expected this to happen.
True.
You know, it was, I mean, like at the end of the day, like I said before, you win some, you lose some. But this is not a loss.
And hey, Allie, thanks for the £5 super chat. It needs
£5.
rewriting in crayon to give the full effect.
That'll give you $6-7. So that means you can go out and get me a couple of cans of Dr. Pepper and yeah.
So this is what was filed today. Like today. Like a few hours ago.
Oh,
so this was Jeremy Hales has moved for leave to file a third amended complaint against Luthman and Preston. Document 182. That motion was granted. Document 186, which we didn't look at, but we went from 185 to 187. I skipped 186. It's fine. The motion was granted. We already knew about it. So, hey, Gigi Don, I enjoy watching you squid, but it makes my day when I get to see baby squid. Well, thank you.
That's awesome. That's a freaking awesome picture, that icon. That is brilliant.
Yep. I love.
Because the First Amendment complaint supersedes the Second Amendment complaint, the Third Amendment complaint renders moot a motion to dismiss the prior complaint. Phoenix Enterprises versus Jellyfish LLC. Thus, the court will terminate defendants Luthman.
I'll be right back. You read.
Can you scroll it up?
Yep, I will. Hold on, let me make it a little tinier so that.
Yeah. Thus, the court will terminate Luthman's defendant Luthman and Preston are the only remaining defendants. All other defendants have been dismissed from the case. The Third Amendment complaint lists only Mr. Hales as plaintiff. Elephant Shoes is not listed. Pending motion to dismiss the Second Amendment complaint and his associated motions to strike the response in opposition, defendant Luthman will be provided with an opportunity to file a response in the Third Amendment complaint. Accordingly, it is ordered that the clerk of court shall terminate defendant. That, by the way, is what's on that. That sounds really bad, actually. Terminate defendant. We shall wait. So, how is everyone doing? It's good to see everyone. Yeet Yeaterson, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Who else we got? Hales, hi. Green Flamingo. I've seen you somewhere before. Wait a minute, I recognize your name. Anyway, hi Jeffrey Montgomery. How you doing? Ali LS. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, it's a snipe hunter. Don't mute the mute amendment. Oh yeah, okay. Terminate the Luthman's motion to dismiss the Second Amendment complaint and his motion to strike because they were not mute. Now mute. Defendant Luthman has 21 days from the date of this order to respond to plaintiff's Third Amendment complaint. The clerk of court shall update the docket to reflect that sole plaintiff in this action is now Jeremy B. Hales, ordered the 27th of April. Yes. So, hey.
Like I said, that was just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so basically, you're in trouble, Mr. Magoo.
Sorry, there's these freaking ants are on my desk, and I don't know where they're coming from. We have a problem with sugar ants in this house. I don't know why, but they're on my desk. They're in the living room, and they're in our office. And those are the only two rooms that they're in, thank God. But, like, no matter how clean I keep my office, they are still here.
Follow the trail.
Can't get rid of them.
Ants will always leave a trail. So if you follow the trail, they usually come from corners or under the skirting board.
Yeah, I have to call my pest guy. So yeah. It's just one of those. I had the shot glass on my thing. It's filled with apple cider vinegar because I was dipping apple cider vinegar and rubbing it wherever they were when I killed them so that it would destroy the trail. And I still don't know where they're coming from.
Let me ask you a question. Have a look at the two legs closest to the wall, right? And have a look if they're climbing up there.
Nope.
Yeah,
I don't know where they are coming from. So I moved my desk and everything and cleaned everything out and could not find their source of, but then they sort of just appear out of, and my desk is black, so that's not helping either because, you know.
Yeah, you can always put a tape around the edges. That'll stop them for, a sticky one. There's a tape you can get that's like anti-insect, and what you do, you stick it on the edges, and they try to climb up it, and they get stuck to it.
And Lane's wife, good to see you. It's just one of those things of like, like there's no reason that they should be here, but then you see one crawling across your keyboard, and it's like, why are you here?
Yeah,
like
typing.
And it's annoying because it's like no matter how much I have to go outside and spray because we have ant beds in our front yard. We spray them with a something bison. Diesel
and get rid of it.
Well, the good thing is living in Southeast Georgia. The biggest issue that I have right now are ants. So like life could be worse. We could have palmetto bugs. So
Hi, Paul.
we could have roaches the size of my hand. We don't, but it's just these little tiny,
Buy yourself one of those ant eaters, with a long nose. Let them walk around the house. Yeah. Sorry, I'll shut up.
You get stink bugs? Yeah, we get palmetto bugs, these sugar ants, and brown widow spiders.
Can you imagine the ants standing there going,
that's welcome to the South.
Can you imagine those ants standing there while Squid is listening to music and all they do is start dancing? They're like, I'm too sexy for my too sexy for my
Anyway, y'all are crazy. All right. So the court will not take any action at this given time regarding Defendant Preston's motion to dismiss given the pending bankruptcy stay. But since Defendant Preston's motion to dismiss now appears to be moot as well, the court anticipates allowing her an opportunity to file a response to the third amended complaint after the bankruptcy stay is lifted.
And when it comes to the bankruptcy, something got posted today about that.
In the bankruptcy court?
Yes.
Let me make sure I've saved this.
And it's very interesting. Someone didn't accept me.
Oh, and what's his nuts' bankruptcy has been dismissed without prejudice.
Whose?
Lips' husband. Federigo's dude. Michael Federigo's.
Oh, so you got away with it then?
No, it's been dismissed. He filed for bankruptcy and it's been dismissed because he didn't file it right.
That's right, yeah. Oh, that means they are bankrupt. That means they're going to lose everything. That's what happens when you shit on your own doorstep.
So I just found that funny.
I find it quite interesting, considering their background and past, how they could file for bankruptcy.
Anybody can do anything at any time. You just have to suffer the consequences of your actions.
Yes.
So it's not the subpoena in the actual bankruptcy case. The subpoenas were filed on the 21st. And let's go to the associated cases, which was the adversary case. Let's see what's in there. I'm so no. What do you mean? What was filed in there?
Basically,
I'm confused because there's not actually, and this is why when you said something about the bankruptcy, I didn't say anything because there hasn't been anything filed except for undeliverable mail, which I thought was interesting. That
that's what I meant.
To her address.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Is undelivered mail. That is going to put a kink in that freaking bankruptcy case for it's this just shows either their lawyer, Saran Wrap or whatever, whoever's representing her, either is a lazy person or they both don't care. So now, considering that's been sent back, that's not going to look good. Oh God! Now I have a Google account. Yeah. Hey, MB Leach. Now you know how I felt last night. And she.
Remember Mama Bear Leah? She shortened her name. She's not Mama Bear anymore. She's MB.
All right. Well,
so same person, different, shorter name.
Sneaky.
I will get your toast and telltale. All right. So you talk about what you need to talk about. I need to go get this little one some toast and telltale before she loses her absolute ever-loving mind.
Okay. Well, what do you want me to? Oh yeah, I know what I'll talk about. I know what I'm going to talk about. I think some people may like this. You'll understand. It's called about leadership, the core leadership principles. Anyway, guys.
You want me to get rid of this shared screen?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
First rule of chat: don't Google what's in chat.
Yeah, don't Google. Yeah, I mean, like last night, was in Shizzy Street and he played this song, which is absolutely hilarious. But I swear to God, if I had had a spoon, I would have popped both my eyes out. I'm never going to get that back. I had nightmares. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna probably in the next couple of days, I am going to be talking about. This is based on my past military service. I'm going to be talking about the core values and the leadership values, because I believe that with a lot of people using abbreviations and algorithms, like Darvu, SLAP, and stuff like that. I thought instead of talking about something negative, I want to bring something positive in, and due to the fact that every human being or every person, regardless if you've served in the military, Air Force, Navy, Marines, or whatever, okay, fire brigade, ambulance service, all right, it doesn't matter. It's across the board. The core values, especially the core values. So that's going to be coming up. So if you want to check that out, please feel free to come and jump in and pop in and say hi. It's going to be probably a two-parter, because obviously there's a lot of information that's going to need to be disseminated. One thing in regards going back to this case, what I can't understand is the lack of seriousness about this court case. I really can't. I can't understand why this is still going on. I can't understand why the bankruptcy is still going on. I can't understand why people like Luthman can people go, oh, I've got freedom of expression, freedom of speech, blah blah blah. But when you are on a platform and you talk about stuff, and then a couple of days later you put the motion through the court system, that's interesting. And there's one other thing that a lot of people don't address. And I've addressed it on my on my channel, is the fact that the crampons, in regards of the adoption, what I find quite interesting is that if you go and watch the video on my platform, you'll actually understand what I'm talking about. How can you interview someone who was the lawyer / notary for an adoption, and then record it, edit it, and then play it on your platform when you have had no association or you are related to the individuals in question? And that there, people need to question. People need to, I mean, if you want to have a question answered, you have got two ways of dealing with that. You can either ask the person, or you can do your own research and find your answer that way. But I still find it very strange that there's a lot of things that I have pulled up and I've pointed at that it's either ignored or people don't care. And I'm not saying that everyone doesn't care. I'm just saying that, like, why, if you go back to where it all started, if you go back to the water meters and everything else, and you go back to when it started with Lynette Preston, and you watch the channels, there is a gap in between Lynette Preston, the first couple of court hearings, and then suddenly you got obviously Bruce Matskin appeared, and then you've got the crampons suddenly appear, and you know straight away that she has a personal vendetta against Jeremy, and it was all about character assassination. It was all about character assassination, and they haven't stopped doing that. And in fact, they've doubled down, and they've basically made statements that I'm surprised they're not in jail. And this is why I'm a little bit shocked about your legal system. And we've discussed this multiple times, and I've spoken to multiple people. I've spoken to people who come into my stream. I've spoken to people who come into your stream. You know, I just find it extremely disheartening that it's very easy for a complete stranger after a few weeks of knowing someone to then contact a lawyer / notary who is responsible for an adoption, record what they were saying, edit it to their liking, and then post it on their platform. And no one so far has questioned that.
It's weird. Nothing adds up, but the more you dig, the more.
I mean, I've checked it. I've done my research, and I'm not going to say anything. At the end of the day, that's up to other people to do their research. But one thing I can say is that you're going to have a very interesting find. That's all I'm saying.
Do you see Snipe Hunter's picture?
Brilliant. Oh, he got you good and proper. He got you good and proper. Nice.
And we have to remember, though, at the end of the day, life isn't fair.
I'm not saying it's fair. I just think I'm talking about the legal aspects of. I'm not talking about like, oh, it's not fair. I'm talking about the legal aspects of a lawyer who is responsible for an adoption / notary, who is also the notary for that adoption, that she ended up on the platform. Because if you go and do your research, you won't find that video. And if you do, it was heavily edited. You won't find that live stream. I can't. So that tells me someone's hiding something. But the problem is, she has admitted it in one of her live streams. And have a guess what I've got?
Screenshotted it?
No, her statement. That the person was on her platform and that she edited the recording.
Interesting. It's just a weird. The point of today was really that first document, because I read it, or I read the first part, and it just made me think that he's laying the foundation for shenanigans in the future.
Oh, no, not in the future. Continuously now. So it's
This is more real life, Squid.
Yeah. And what not
wrong.
Yeah, and yeah, that's better. That's better. I mean, that is way better. I like that one. Yeah,
that's more accurate.
Yeah, I mean, like, we all know what's going to happen now. He's going to try to drain. He's now going to try to financially drain the other side. So,
yep, it's his turn to step up to the plate and be a douche.
Yep.
Not just on the internet. But it just made me think. So I have to get going because, 3D World, the job that actually pays the bills. Well,
what, 3D?
I have to work tonight. It's Monday.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, So I have to add Spawn back. There we go. So Squidward's telling us we're number one. Let's go with that. We'll go with that. More like sit on it and rotate.
Sit on it and swivel. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I've said sit and swivel before. I said sit and rotate before. I said, you're number one in more ways than one. And the only way that counts. But that first document, it just makes me think that there will be a motion for sanctions in the future because of the professional conduct. But with that, you had added that he had said things on a stream. I'm not providing legal advice because I'm not a lawyer, so I can't do that anyway. But if I were to just give some friend advice, it would be to put whatever he had said on that live stream in a motion to be like, well, he's claiming this. Look at his playbook that he said on the internet he was going to do.
Yep.
Here's puzzle piece number 1. And it might not mean much to the judge now, but you got your side of the story on record that he had went on the internet and said this.
Let me ask you a question. I mean,
exactly this crap.
Right, this is a question to you and to the panel. I mean, to the community, the chat. Can you legally take the transcript of that stream? And I know for a fact that Jeremy Hales has already got that transcript, or at least 2 or 3 people have already got it. To take that transcript and basically use that transcript as evidence and put it into a motion and say this and then highlight what he was saying and then direct it back to the motion that he's now put in and say, right, if this is his playbook and this is what was said and everything else, would that be okay, or is that legally fine, or anybody help? Really?
Oh no. So I had to go do mama duties real quick. So
yeah. So what do you think? I already got a note there. Nice stream, everyone reading, so catch the first one. What happened? So do you think that they could add that to a motion as emotional evidence, so to add it so it's on the record?
Oh, for everybody wondering why you couldn't hear me, it's because I literally had to go do mama duties. I wasn't here. So I had to go. I had to go run away for a second.
Okay, right. You know the transcript of what he said on that platform. Can that be taken and added to a motion as evidence to have it on record of what was said, so that then they can come back to it and say, hey, this is what he said, this is what's going on, this is his intentions?
I would. Just because, once again, it's another one of those aspects of just because you put it in a motion doesn't mean the judge will consider it. But if you don't put it in a motion, it didn't happen.
Yeah, so if I was Jeremy, I would put that in a motion, so at least it's on record then.
I would, yep, exactly. I would get that shit on record as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
In the sense of, this is his playbook, so here's step 1 of his playbook, but look at what he said he was going to do. Mm-hmm. He said it on the internet for the world to see, and here he is starting his stuff.
including his verbal threat to cause actual physical harm with knives.
I would include that too, because maybe I don't know.
This is why when in that document when it says about meeting up in a neutral environment, this is why I said armed police or police to be present, because I don't put anything against this guy because it's all about fame and PR. It's all about getting your name out there, and that guy wants his name in neon lights. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just weird. All right, guys.
Okay.
Any last words, Spawn, before we eat ourselves out of here?
Yeah. All I want to say is that, guys, please remember that, like, what you're hearing is us having this is our own opinion. And as you know, I'm quite forthcoming with my opinion, and I will say it as it is. You know, there's no hate, there's no disrespect or anything intended, but it's just factual, observational comments. The second thing is, show Squid some love. You know, give her a like. You know, give her a hug and all that good stuff. And remember that if it ever happens to you, you know what to avoid when it comes to court cases with people like this. All right, this actual fact should give you a heads up of what it can become like. You know, so if you ever decide to sue someone, don't do a carpet bombing suit. If there's more than one or two of you, do a class action suit. But don't carpet bomb, because at the end of the day, this is exactly what happened. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. On that note, thanks very much. I'm Spawn Trooper, and I'm the master. Yeet.
And Paul, thanks for being a member for 13 months, over a year. Yay. And I do have us set up to redirect over to Broken Baker. He is reading a Kelsey Fitzsimmons motion. If you have not followed the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, it is another Massachusetts shit show. Welcome.
Sorry, Yeet McYeetison. I'm the one who brought out Yeet on my stream, so you can be Yeet too. I'll be Master Yeet. But if you actually say it really quickly, the Master Yeet.
All right, I have to figure out what's for dinner for my family, and I have to get to work in less than an hour. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great day, and have the day that you deserve.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye.